just to be clear, the Xbox Series X and S have advantages sometimes. Well, I would say the X has some advantages over the PS5, and the PlayStation 5 has some advantages over the Xbox. That's just the way it is. There's always going to be strong suits, and there's going to be weak points to both platforms. Obviously, just to name a few, I feel like clearly the solid-state drive is a huge strong point, especially with Kraken and Oodle and things like that in the PS5. Whereas on the Xbox, a strong suit for that would be, I guess, quick resume and velocity architecture and what have you. So there's obviously going to be some differences there, and there's also going to be some things that are pretty much the same. Pretty much right now, both these platforms are running the same, which again, you know, in most games you see like very little difference, and I think that that's something that we're going to continue to kind of deal with as we go on. I think the main thing that I would like to ask is all those YouTubers and the RDXs of the world that really kind of pimped out the Xbox Series X as being such an amazing piece of kit, and that it was going to be, you know, just destroy the PlayStation 5 in terms of performance and this and that. And the fact of the matter is that didn't happen. And now obviously these guys all blocked me and, you know, refused to debate me and things like that. But the thing that I would just ask is, what happened to that? Right? Like, it's just so funny to me because you see stuff that comes across your timeline, like, you know, you have a particular fan base, and, you know, let's just call them Schmarty X, and they talk about how much they hate a delivery game like, you know, Death Stranding. But then on their show, they're playing State of Decay 2, which is basically a delivery game, but much lower standards, much worse in pretty much every way. So, you know, again, it's just some of the contradictions that I guess you'd like some answer to, or just say, what the hell happened to the tools? Where are all these great advantages coming from? When are we going to see some of that stuff? So, anyway, you know, I think that it's just one of those things. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about this because this was something that came up, and it basically impacts both consoles, but more so the Xbox than it does the the PS5. So, you know, and I think, like, listen, I actually like the Series S for what it is, so don't get that twisted. I just feel like, for me personally, we're in this situation where you start to see more and more of these types of things happening. So Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Season 6 rolling in at a massive 230 gigabytes on Xbox. So Xbox Series owners are once again faced with a massive Black Ops Cold War download, as Season 6 is weighing in at more than 230 gigabytes on Series X. Season 6 of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and Warzone are kicking off later today, and for some, the latest updates has already become available. The new season adds plenty of new content to the shooter, including new multiplayer maps, weapons, the finale of Black Ops Cold War zombies, and much more. Call of Duty games are known to be quite noxious when it comes to required hard drive space, and unfortunately the Season 6 update for the game is no different. The new Season 6 update, Cold War, clocks in at a rather massive 231.64 gigabytes on the Series X. The download size should be the same for Series S owners, and with the Series S only packing 364 gigs of available space, you can guess how much space there's left for other titles. So basically, like if you want to play that and say Gears of War or something, like, you might only be able to get 2 games in there. Let's say you wanted to play Call of Duty Cold War and Avengers. Avengers is like 130 gigs on Xbox Series X. So, man, Season 6 kicks off October 7th, which is today. The new season adds multiplayer maps alongside 100 new tiers, 5 free weapons, and the final round-based map in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and the conclusion to the opening chapter of the Dark Aether story. So yeah, this is very interesting as well. There's battle passes, tiers, all that kind of good stuff. You know, new guns, new weapons. Multiplayer has offered a bunch of new stuff. There is zombies and stuff like that. Everything's getting updates. I'm going to link this, of course, and you guys can check it out. But one of the things that I'm most thankful for is the fact that, you know, this is the type of thing that kind of has been an issue for Xbox this entire generation. And yes, they're coming out with the cheaper 1 terabyte cards, but at the same time, or excuse me, 500 gig cards. But at the same time, I kind of look at this and I go, you know what? Paying $120 or maybe even $150 for 500 gigs as opposed to 200 for the full terabyte is really just ripping people off. You know, it's kind of like the Series S is like, you know, some people are buying it, I've noticed, more because it's available, but it's still more of kind of like a rip-off if you think about it, because you buy this thing, and I guess it depends on what kind of TV you have. Like, for me, it doesn't make sense for my bedroom TV, which is a CX OLED, which can do 4K 120. You know, but the TV in the living room can do 4K 60. So, you know, it makes sense in there, you know, for that purpose. Or wait, no, the TV in the living room can do 120, but it can't do 4K 120. I think it could do like 1440p at the max. So, yeah. So I can play, you know, games at 120 out there, but not 4K. And it's I like overall the TV itself isn't as good because obviously OLED is better. But you know, it's you buy this thing for $300, which is, you know, $200 less than the X. But then basically you have to get a 1 terabyte thing right away anyway, which takes you up to the $500 same price as the X to begin with, right? And now with the X, you got a little bit more leeway, right? I'll be honest. As many games as I have, I still just have my USB drives hooked up into it because I'll just switch stuff out for right now. I'll eventually get one. But for right now, there's not enough new games to where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so out of space. I could just like move the newer games that I'm not using, you know, to the other and store it on the USB drives, and then, you know, I can just, if I ever want to play it, I can just bring it back. I did that with Call of Duty actually, because Call of Duty was taking up a huge ton of space, and I just, you know, I couldn't get next to it. You know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of ridiculous the way that that kind of happened. You know, and for me personally, I just find it to be, you know, a little bit odd to say the least. So I hope that it's a situation where that happens. So anyway, with that being said. You know, I think that it's pretty obvious that this is going to continue to just get larger and larger and larger, and I hope that we see, you know, some changes soon enough with it. So I would love to say, hey, you know, maybe we might get something before too long that isn't, you know, 1,000,000 gigs to download, especially for someone like me. Like, you guys might not know this, but I have really bad internet right now, and you know, supposedly it's supposed to be Starlink at some point this year, but who knows? And then I'll have decent internet. They say I could get upwards of 200-300 megabytes down and 50 up or something, which right now my up is like 1.25 most of the time, and sometimes lower or slower. That's why it takes so long for my videos to upload. Basically, I leave for work with the video uploading, and it takes a couple hours, and then, you know, I'll upload another one on lunch or whatever, and, you know, it takes forever. So it does kind of suck. But with that being said, to download something, you know, that's 230 gigs, holy cow, does that absolutely take me forever to do. You know, I just feel like that's something that obviously, you know, not everybody's dealing with. It seems like I've got to deal with it more than most, you know. So yeah, it is unfortunate, and hopefully something comes about and changes things before too long, because this is this is definitely not the way to go about it, in my opinion. You know, there's got to be something. That's why I'm very thankful that, you know, on the Sony side, there's like the Oodle and the Kraken and, you know, that kind of stuff, the technology that actually makes it worthwhile, to where not everything is like, you know, re-downloading, and not everything is like taking up as much space as that. You know, it is because it can get a little bit monotonous at times, to say the least. And, you know, I do have that extra space on my PlayStation 5, but not my Series X yet. You know, hopefully I'll get something there soon though. So with that being said, I really do appreciate each and every one of you to come out and watch the videos. Rebuilding, rebranding, and all that stuff takes time. Hopefully YouTube can fix my channel with some of the issues. you know, it's not something that I'm going to gripe about or whatever. It just is what it is, and hopefully it gets better, you know, and hopefully the content gets better and things kind of shape up. But thank you guys. If you do enjoy the content, please leave a like, share it out, tell your mom, dad, uncles, cousins, whoever. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.